Alright guys, you're not gonna believe this. I'm about to drop a bombshell of groundbreaking TF2 news. Are you ready for this? Alright. TF2 has weapons. And you know, we've all got our favorites for each class. Some of your favorite picks might add a little bit of utility on top of what a class is already capable of, while others might change the way a class is played altogether. And then there's the type of weapon that goes beyond a simple favorite. Weapons you quote-unquote have to use. Honestly, it might not be something you ever really think about, but if you're like me, there's quite a few weapons in the game that you find yourself using almost exclusively, whether that be from them enhancing your overall enjoyment of the game, or from them making you feel out of your element just by not even equipping them. So that's what I want to talk about today. One weapon from each class that have become crucial mainstays of my loadouts, and showing you why exactly they're weapons that I feel I have to use. Now when it comes to Scout, I tend to stick to the stock scattergun and pistol, but I don't shy away from other unlocks to spice up my gameplay now and then. The same can't be said for his melee slot though, since no matter what primary or secondary I'm using, I have to run the Rap Assassin. To me, having access to free range damage at the cost of pitiful melee damage is really a no-brainer, because Scout already deals devastating close range damage, so losing out on reliable melee damage really isn't as bad as you might think. And what you get in exchange for that is so worth it to me. Ranged bleed damage that can weaken enemies before you go in for the kill, or as a finishing blow if you're out of scattergun and pistol shots. Really, the only negative thing I can say about it is that it's a little out of season for the majority of the year, but I mean, that's never stopped me from using a weapon before. The Rap Assassin is just a great weapon overall, giving you a third ranged source of damage that has damage over time, and really, I don't think I'd play Scout as often if the thing didn't exist. Sure, his other melee options are useful, but the security and extra damage that the Rap Assassin provides are just too good for me to pass up. Like Scout, my soldier loadouts tend to gravitate towards stock weapons with occasional swaps to other unlocks, with an unchanging must-have pick for his melee slot, this time being the disciplinary action. Sure, other unlocks may be more popular, like the escape plan for its useful speed boost to low health, or the market gardener for... Come on, it's the Market Gardener. On the other hand, the disciplinary action excels in team support through its speed boost on hit, which for someone like me who tries to be more of a team player, makes it the most appealing melee option. Now obviously, speed boosts are going to be pretty useful in pretty much any scenario, like getting to objectives quicker, and helping teammates escape immediate danger more safely. So when I try to run other melees on Soldier, it's like I can physically feel the void in my heart by not being able to whip them and help them move faster, which I'm just not willing to give up. But speaking of whipping... The disciplinary action's extra melee range makes landing hits on your teammates much easier, but landing hits on enemies, especially random crits? Oh my god, they're amazing. Long-range melee hits that deal 146 damage are so devastating in melee fights, and honestly, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't another huge reason I used this thing. So yeah, those two factors are why the disciplinary action is a permanent part of my soldier loadouts. Free team-wide speed boosts and increased melee range make it too useful to equip anything else. Alright, those were some pretty reasonable picks, right? Well, now you're gonna have to hear me out on Pyro here, because their must-have pick is gonna be the Gas Passer. And no, that's not a joke. I made an entire video about the Gas Passer a while back, and all my thoughts on the weapon are explained in detail there, but to quickly summarize, I love the weapon for its chaotic potential and status as a terrible weapon, plus the rare but shocking utility it can actually offer. For one, because the Gas Passer is so terrible, basically nobody uses it, so whenever someone does use it, players really aren't as experienced in fighting against it, which can actually get you some cheeky afterburn kills more often than not. And when that does happen, man does that feel like the ultimate reward. Despite the weapon not being terribly useful or effective in most cases, there's still some utility that the Gas Passer can offer. For one, high damaging spammable weapons like the Grenade Launcher and Huntsman can pretty easily one-shot light classes thanks to the Passer's afterburn, given that these light classes don't have access to afterburn extinguishing items. But say that strategy doesn't work out for you. It's all good, it's not the end of the world, because there's also another benefit the Gas Passer provides, extinguishing teammates from afar. I've personally found this to be the more useful aspect of the Gas Passer, especially in cases like your medic not having the Crusader's crossbow equipped, or when your team's on fire and they just can't seem to stop moving! Anyway, the rare utility and even more rare lethality of the Gas Passer make it my go-to weapon for Pyro. And call me a hipster or whatever else you want, but it's also super fun to use simply because not a lot of other people do too. The thing is literally chaos incarnate, and taming it to occasionally work in your favor is just the type of challenge that makes me want to play Pyro. Now, I think we can all agree that the sticky bomb launcher is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. It's got everything you'd want in a weapon: deadly explosives, a sizable clip count, and high burst damage. Yet despite all of that, I've always preferred its less popular cousin, the quickie bomb launcher. It might not have the effectiveness or popularity of stock, but it's the one weapon that's remained a constant in all of my demo loadouts. It trades the close to medium range power and spam of stock due to its lower base damage and smaller clip size for superior sticky sniping thanks to that faster charge time, and that long range power is something that I can't turn my back on ever since I first used the thing. And it's not even really bad at spam either. Despite the lower clip size and base damage, its faster arming explosives can actually benefit you a lot in fights where you need damage more immediately. Especially in 1v1 fights, the quickie bomb launcher can excel over stock if the enemy's health is low enough, since faster exploding stickies can really make or break your survival. And to tie the whole weapon together, it even comes with some of the best sound designs for a weapon I've ever heard. I mean, just listen to the firing and explosion sounds. Oh, they're so good. Now, I can't deny that stock is better for nearly all types of combat and is a better pick for general play, but the quickie bomb launcher's utility of sticky sniping and faster arming stickies is too fun for me to pass up on. Alright, some of you might have already seen this coming, but my pick for heavy is a lunchbox item, but it's probably not the one you're expecting, because my must-have choice for heavy is the DeLocus bar. In the small chance that you've been a longtime viewer of this channel, first of all, I want to say thank you, but secondly, you'll know that I've talked about the DeLocus bar time and time again in a ton of my videos, and for good reason. It's my favorite item for heavy. I mean, it's such a simple concept at its core. Gain 50 max health for 30 seconds in exchange for lower healing on consumption. And yet, I feel like this thing is extremely underrated. It lets you survive certain otherwise lethal damage thresholds, helps you hold your ground more reliably, and enables you to survive most encounters in general. Okay, I'm not gonna deny that this thing has its drawbacks, like having to eat it so often to reap its rewards, its lower overall health restoration, and its status as a small health pack versus the sandwich being a medium health pack. But there's one main reason I could look past all of that in favor of using it, and that comes down to one word: confidence. Heavy is already a giant damage sponge, so having 50 extra health to work with gives me the confidence to play heavy in the first place, knowing that I'm slightly less likely to get domed in like 0.001 seconds, and that slight boost in survivability makes the DeLocus bar a must pick for me. It may not be the best lunchbox item by a long shot, but it definitely helps me enjoy playing heavy with that extra bit of confidence it gives me. Now for engineer, my pick for him might seem a bit vanilla in terms of popularity, but I gotta say, the stock shotgun has to be my go-to for him. I know, it might seem like cheating to pick a stock weapon for a list like this, but like the DeLocus bar for heavy, the stock shotgun provides a certain level of security for our favorite Texan, and I just can't play without it. Personally, I used to be a huge fan of more defensive-oriented loadouts like the Rescue Ranger and Wrangler, and while I know you're trading reliable self-defense for more defensive sentry power, it really sucks getting caught out without a truly trusty shotgun, because when your sentry goes down, having 6 powerful hit-scan shots to defend yourself is a godsend. And even outside of self-defense, the shotgun is a shockingly powerful offensive tool, helping you pump out damage when playing Battle NG, or letting you keep pressure on the front lines while your sentry watches the back lines. And I get it that other unlocks may provide more interesting playstyles and experiences, but the stock shotgun's consistency and reliability cement it as the weapon for me. For medic, I'm jumping right into this one pretty quickly because I need a bit of explanation here. My pick for him is gonna be the quick fix. First off, I know that the quick fix is objectively the weakest medigun in terms of power, and obviously I'm gonna switch off to another medigun should the state of the game need it. But damn it, the quick fix is so much fun to use. Being my favorite item for medic, it comes with some interesting quirks, like mirroring blast jumps and immunity to movement impairing effects on Uber. And as neat as those are, the real reason the quick fix has my attention is its healing output. See, the reason I like playing medic in the first place is seeing health values go from 0 to full, and the quick fix delivers that high. Seriously, around 34 base healing per second and about 100 per second on Uber is perfect for patching up most of your team, keeping the health topped off for the next fight, which honestly I personally find to be generally more useful than being able to push through a tough hold, making your healing target tough as nails, or needing the whole enemy team dead. Like, those power boosts are great and all, but sometimes, more often than not, your team just needs rapid healing to stay in the fight, which is why the quick fix is my must pick for medic. It may not be the most useful or powerful medigun by any means, but its raw healing power is unmatched and the single main factor behind my love for this thing. Alright, I promise that this next choice is going to be the last stock weapon on this list. But for Sniper, his weapon for my must-have category is the stock SMG. This is like the Delocus bar and shotgun in terms of heightened self-defense, but for Sniper, close range damage is everything. Because if you're like me, hitting close range headshots is a thing of legend more than an actual reliable strategy. So having some way to defend myself from anything closing in on me is what makes the SMG so alluring. Now sure, the backpacks all provide some benefit in certain situations, and Girardi, one of the most powerful items in the game, is incredibly useful and all around a great choice to carry. But the SMG, I really can't play without it. It's a great self-defense tool to whittle down enemies chasing you, and could even pair well with an unscoped shot from the sniper rifle to finish off your target. God, I just love the SMG. It's literally a sniper's best friend. When you can actually aim it. Speaking of which, our last weapon on today's list is a particular revolver for spy, and the only reason it's on here is that for some reason I can actually hit things with it. It's the Enforcer. I don't know what it is about the damn thing, but I swear, when I have it equipped, my aim becomes godlike and I don't end up missing half my clip. Alright, but to be real here for a second, the reason for this is probably because of the slower firing speed, since even though it has a slower DPS compared to stock, taking longer between each shot forces me to slow down and gives me time to properly line up the next shot, making connecting hits a lot easier. And it's not just the amazing aim it gives me that makes the weapon so vital for my spy loadouts. Another fun part of the weapon I really like is its damage piercing mechanic. Certain targets that were otherwise a lot more difficult to deal with as a team are now your specialty. For example, Wrangled sentries can now be melted by constant fire from the Enforcer, and Vaccinator medics can finally be shut down a lot faster, even though Spy already has an item built into his base kit that does this better. I guess you could say the Enforcer enforced its way into being a permanent part of my Spy loadouts then. This is probably you right now. And there we have it, the weapons in TF2 that I have to use. Now, this list could change in the next couple of years, but given that most of these items help me in some substantial way when it comes to playing the game, or make the game that much more fun for me, they're my absolute must-haves for now. But I'm curious to see what your must-have weapons are. Maybe you agreed with some of the ones I mentioned today, or you might have a completely different list altogether. So let me know in the comments below which weapons are mainstays in your loadouts. Anyway though, that's all I've got for today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So when I say go, just like Uber and then I'll shoot. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wait, no, I missed. Oh, let's start over.
You're gonna end up looping to the end of the video.
I should. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.